guys, and welcome back to another video. So I am coming back to you with another vlog of my time here in Seoul. If you've seen my channel before, you will know that back in February I moved to South Korea from the United Kingdom, and I have been living and working here since. And today I have a very last minute unexpected vlog that I still cannot believe is happening. You will have seen from the title that in this vlog today I am going to an in-person fan sign with a K-pop group. When a K-pop group has a fan sign, basically you go along to this like hall or theater or somewhere, and they will be up on a stage, but it's like a really small venue. Normally it's like 30 to 40 people who go, so it's like a really small event. There's not that many people who go. Anyone who goes to the fan sign, they get an album and they go up and they go to each member, and the member signs the album for them, and then you get to talk to them. And it's basically the best way to meet a K-pop idol. In recent years, because of the pandemic, they started doing fan call events instead. I have been lucky enough to do a fan call twice with the K-pop idol soloist Alexa, but that's the closest I've gotten to doing a fan sign event, because the fan call events meant that international fans could enter because you didn't have to be in Korea to do it. But the fan sign events, obviously in person, you have to be in Korea to do it. And I just remember, like, I've been into K-pop for the past 7 years, and for that entire time I've always seen pictures and videos of idols at fan signs, and I never thought that I would be able to do one myself, because you know, you kind of have to be in Korea for it. But now I live in Korea and I'm going to a fan sign in person. And what makes this one especially exciting is because I'm going to a fan sign for the K-pop group Kingdom. Now, you may have seen a previous video on my channel about an experience I had where the TV show Simply K-pop Contour did a special United Kingdom edition of one of their shows, and I was asked to go on this TV show and do an interview with the K-pop group Kingdom. It was done through video call because this was back when I was living in England, and I got to do this like video call, be on the TV show, like shown on screen. I got to talk to the MCs, who were Kevin and Jacob from The Boys, but then I also got to talk to Kingdom. I got to ask them 3 questions, I got to give them a message, and they also got to talk to me, and it was an amazing interaction, and it was such a good experience. It was so amazing. The Boys were so lovely, Kingdom were amazing. Like, it was such a good experience, and it made me fall in love with Kingdom even more, and I just love them so much. And I thought when I moved here to Korea, I was like, you know what, if I ever want to do an in-person fan sign, I should go for Kingdom, because A, there's a chance they could remember me from Simply K-pop, and even if they don't, I can talk to them about it and remind them. And B, Kingdom should actually be pretty easy to get into a fan sign for, because the way fan signs work is the same as a fan call. You buy albums from a specific seller, and one album is one entry into the raffle. So the more albums you buy, the more chance you have. And for most of the groups I stan, I probably will never get to go to a fan sign, because like the group I'd want to go to the most is Stray Kids, but because they're so popular, people, especially here in Korea, literally buy so many albums to get into these fan signs. If I wanted any chance at getting into the fan sign, I'd probably need like a minimum 100 albums or something. Like, it is crazy how many albums you need to buy to get into fan signs for some groups, and I cannot afford that. So I already know I'm never gonna get to go to like a Stray Kids fan sign. But Kingdom are a very underrated group, and from what I've seen, it looks like they could be bigger internationally than they are here in Korea. Don't quote me on that though, I'm not 100% sure, but they definitely don't have a very large fan base here in Korea at all. Like, they're really quite small, which is a shame, because they are so good. They are so good and so talented, and they deserve to be so much bigger than they are. But the one good thing about them being small is it means you don't need as many albums to get into their fan sign. And so they had a comeback not long after I moved to Korea, and they started doing fan sign events, and I saw that they were doing one with K-Town For You, and I was like, you know what, maybe I should try and enter, because there's actually a chance I could get in without having to buy 100 albums. I entered the fan sign. I bought albums from K-Town For You to enter, and I ended up winning. So I entered on Monday. I found out I won on Thursday, and now it is Sunday, and the fan sign is today. It is very last minute. I really wish they gave us longer to prepare for the fan sign, because I have been stressing all weekend. I went out shopping yesterday to buy everything. It was very stressful. I still have so much to do today. Like, there is so much to do to get ready for it. I'm stressed. If you're curious, the number of albums that I bought to enter was actually 20. I bought 10 sets of both versions, so it's 20 albums in total. You don't get the albums until after the event. I obviously don't need all of those albums, so I will be selling spares, and I can sell just the photo cards and stuff. So if you like Kingdom and you want some albums and photo cards, feel free to check out my sales accounts. I'll probably put the link in the description, because I will probably be selling the spare albums that I have. But yeah, I bought 20 albums, which was still a lot of money. Like, could I afford it? Technically not, but I did get paid on Friday, so maybe it's fine. But I'll give a quick rundown on like everything I've done to prepare, because there is so much to prepare and do for fan signs. It is ridiculous, and I'm actually stressed doing this right now, because like, do I have enough time? I do. It's 1:30, and the fan sign isn't until 8 o'clock this evening. I don't have to be there until 7:30. Luckily for me, my best friend is Nicola, who you will know if you've seen any of my concert vlogs and my past Seoul vlogs as well, because she also lives here in Seoul. She moved a couple months before I did, and we live here in Seoul, but she has actually been to in-person fan signs already. She's been to like 3 in-person fan signs, because she alts the girl group Cherry Bullet, and they're another group who, like Kingdom, you don't need too many albums to get into a fan sign for. So she's been able to get into 3 fan signs in person now. So she's very experienced when it comes to in-person fan signs. So the second I found out I won this fan sign, I was like, Nicola, tell me everything. So I've just been asking her constant questions over the past couple of days, and she's been helping me out and helping me make sure that I'm prepared and ready. So that has been great, because if I didn't have Nicola, I would have absolutely no clue what to do right now. Yesterday, as in Saturday, I went around Seoul to all the places that I know sell K-pop albums that I knew would have essentially the most chance of having Kingdom albums, in hopes of finding the new Kingdom album, which is this comeback, by the way, is The History of Kingdom Part 4 Dan, because each comeback's named after one of the kings and the members are named after kings. So essentially each comeback's named after a member, and that's another reason why I wanted to do this fan sign, because Dan is my bias. So this comeback is named after my bias. So I felt like it was kind of fitting for me to do a fan sign for this comeback. And luckily I found that album in 2 stores. I went to 4 stores, I think, that had K-pop albums in. Only 2 of them had the album, but they had the album, and I ended up buying 6 copies, which I really did not need to do, just because I wanted to see what photo cards I could get. I have a bit of regret because like 4 of these are from the second store I went to, 3 of them are like the same version, and all 3 of that version had the same photo card in. I really did not need to buy all of those, but you know, I mean, now I'm gonna have 26 Kingdom albums. It's fine. But I did get some photo cards. So yeah, that's one addition that I made. I bought some albums, you know, because the 20 I have on the way aren't enough. And now I'm gonna have photo cards for the members to doodle on, which will be really cute. And then the other thing I know you can do at fan signs is you can actually give them gifts. You can't give them gifts for them to keep. You can only give them letters for them to keep. You can't give them physical gifts. But what you can give them is a gift during the fan sign, such as a plushie, a headband, a confetti, like different things like that they can play with and use during the fan sign. And they will keep hold of it during the fan sign, and then at the end they leave it on the stage for you to take back. I kind of prefer that to giving it to them, because it means that you can give them something that they use and then you get to keep it as like a memento from that fan sign, which I think is really cute. And I knew I definitely wanted to do this because Nicola did it at the last Cherry Bullet fan sign she did. She gave her bias a plushie and it was really cute. So I also went plushie shopping yesterday, but I had a bit of a stress over getting these plushies because I was like, I don't know for certain if this specific event will allow it, because it does depend on the company sometimes. How many can you take? Like how big can they be? Etc, etc. I don't know like the specifics, but I went to Daiso yesterday, which is like the best store in Korea, and my plan was to get one at least for Dan, since he's my bias, but also potentially give one to Mujin, because since he's my sister's bias, I could give him a plushie, get pictures of him with said plushie, and then I can give that plushie to my sister and be like, look, your bias had this plushie. So I bought this dinosaur, Dan the dinosaur, to give to Dan, and then I got this little strawberry plushie to give to Mujin. But then I woke up this morning and I was going through the Kingdom tag on Twitter to see pictures from the previous fan signs, because they've done a couple fan signs this comeback already. They had a fan sign yesterday. Like not many people give them plushies, but there have been a couple who have had plushies, but the thing is they're all very small plushies, like small, like this big plushies, like very small plushies. And it got me thinking, and I was like, what if they don't allow you to have too big of a plushie? All these Kingdom ones, they only ever get small plushies. Maybe they don't like big plushies. Maybe Kingdom don't let you have big plushies. Like, what if this plushie is too big? So I woke up and was so stressed all of a sudden, because I was like, what if my plushies are too big? What if I can't take them? So what did I do? I sped walk to the nearest Daiso, which is like a 20-minute walk away, and I bought some more plushies. So I ended up buying these 2 little bears, and here's my thinking: 2 plushies, one for Dan, one for Mujin. They're matching but different colors, and I feel like because I'm giving one to my sister, I feel like that could be really cute. The fact that me and my sister could have matching plushies that have both been given to Kingdom members, I just feel like that's gonna make it really cute and maybe more meaningful. The only other thing I bought is this happy birthday tiara, because on, I think it was Thursday, it was Louis' birthday. It was Louis' birthday on Thursday, so absolutely when I meet him I can be like, oh, happy birthday for Thursday, and I could potentially give him a little happy birthday tiara. They didn't have a crown. They're called Kingdom. They're like named after kings, so I wanted something like royalty based. They didn't have a crown, they only had a tiara, but like, he's got pink hair at the moment. I think this would look great. And then another thing I've had to do to prepare is questions. So one thing that you can do when you give them your album is you can put a post-it note in the album on the page you want them to sign that has a question on it and multiple choice answers, and then they can like read the question and like select their answer. I think the question I'm gonna ask is, which Simply K-pop contour location would you like to visit? And then the options can be United Kingdom, Canada, because they literally did another Simply K-pop contour episode like this week. Kingdom were on another one and it was for Canada, so I could have those 2, and then you can always put like a other option, because it is multi-choice, but if you put like a other option, they can write in an answer if they want to, so I might do that. I bought post-it notes yesterday, so I worked out how to write it, so I put it into Papago. We just gotta hope that it's translated correctly. If not, This is just the draft one. I need to go through and write this out 7 times. That's everything that I've done over the past couple days to get ready. One good thing about having the albums ahead of time is I've gone through and worked out what pages I would want signed if I can choose what pages I want signed. This one is super easy because they have these pages where like it's their picture on one side and then it's basically plain on the other, which is like absolutely perfect. They could write on this page and it doesn't like cover up a photo. If I get this version of the album, then that's sorted, easy. Nice. This version is trickier. There's 2 options on like which pages I could get signed. These ones where it's like a double page with a member, or at the back there's these double pages and it also says their name. I feel like there's maybe more room on these, like there's a gap here that he could sign in, so I think maybe these might be better. I don't know, you know, I'm too indecisive, so I'm hoping that I get this version. I think that's everything. I think I'm ready now. The only other thing that is happening today is when I'm going to get dinner before the venue, one of my friends is potentially coming to see me. I made a friend at a Stray Kids cafe event. If you've seen my Stray Kids anniversary cafe hopping vlog, I made friends with a foreigner. We have some Stray Kid photo cards to trade and they're currently out in Gangnam area, which is where this event is. So probably what's going to happen is when I'm getting dinner before the event, they might come and join me so that we can trade our photo cards. Oh, I mean Kingdom, I don't think it's fully hit me that this is happening. I haven't cried over it. I think they performed 2 songs. They will definitely perform Ascension, which is the title track from the new album. The other song, I have no idea what they're going to perform. The Fansign they did on Friday, they performed Karma, one of their previous title tracks. This is so exciting. This is crazy. I'm going to an in-person Fansign in Seoul, South Korea. What is my life? This is so crazy. I need to go write out these questions. And yeah, I'll see you this evening probably. Okay, let's go. I'm on the way. I'm leaving later than planned. I'm getting so nervous now. This is ridiculous. I'm going to a Fansign.
자, 킹맨 저희 킹덤 인사드리겠습니다. 오프드기 킹덤 안녕하세요, 킹덤입니다. 오늘도 만나서 반갑고 우리 오늘 좋은 시간 보내요.
I don't know what's happening right now. Look at these things. 보이지도 않아. 아니, 저도 화내줄게요. 부인이냐? 고마워.
모든 멤버가? 아니. 누가 그리고 지기도 공격이래. 그냥 우리 수영을 잘했어. 야, 지금 가자고. 지금 이거 보게. 야, 나 안 가도 돼. 야, 나 안 가도 돼. 얘 화장실 간대, 걔랑 너. 니네 오빠? 아, 너 찍었냐고? 아. 루이까지 왼쪽이 안 보여. 선생님은 더 완전 멋있게. 하이. 너 잘생겼다고. 야, 니마. 나 진짜 자랑하고 싶어. 야, 너 귀엽다. 혜진이 형 보여줄 거야? 아니 우리가 왜 해? 그거 하는 거 아니야? 야 조심해.
내가 싼데 왜야?
사람이 더 멋있는 거지.
귀여워진 게 아니라 귀엽게 태어난 건데.
무슨 소리야? 태어난 지 26년이 됐는데.
아이 승재 오늘 한 건 하네.
내가 정해져요.
단신가
아니
당신가 누구?
올려줘. 상아 올려줘. 왜 웃는데?
아니 카노프스키 그거 경기 보려고 유료 결제했어요. 뭔지 알아요? 정창선 선.
아니 그거 모르는데.
야 미안해.
혹시 설명을 해줘 볼까?
아스라이 멀어진 아스라이 고무진 아스라이 멀어진 고즈넉이 감싸는
야 너
잘나는 떠오르는
여전히 좀 아이돌이야. 오케이. 못 보고 해줘. 우리예요.
잠깐만요. 우리한테 지금 한번 알려줘야 돼가지고.
허공에 흩날리던 내코 끼고 왔던 향기 깨져버린 조각도 하나 둘씩 거의 모아 봄꽃 따라 뚜르르 뚜르르 미소 짓던 너는
갑자기 줄임이 없어요?
첫눈처럼 또 사르르 사르르 이제 너는 닿을 수 없네 찬란했던 봄을 기억해주고 슬픔에 녹아내린 널 따라갈 테니 마지막 빠지는 새하리 밤하늘 위를 걷는 별님께 봄꽃길 따라 또르르 또르르 미소를 짓던 너는 첫눈처럼 또 사르르 사르르 이젠 더는 닿을 수 없네 찬란했던 봄을 기억해주고 슬픔에 녹아내린 널 따라갈 테니 내 마지막 빠지는 새하리 밤하늘 위를 걷는 별님 새야 새야 바람 새야 에야 디야 라리오 새야 새야 바람 새야 내 맘을 전해가오 진레꽃 가시가 박혀버린 그대 손에 내가 가야만 했던 험한 길보다 더 아프네 내 사랑은 왜 이리 아픈가요 이 페이는 바람에도 부서지네 울지 못해서 죽지 못해 너무 불안해.
안될 것 같은데?
아니야 다시.
안돼.
추악한 영혼들도
아스.
아스라리 꺼진. 아스라리 어제 기억들이 거짓먹히 감싸는 구름빛이 할 일 없이 흐르는 눈물 뒤로 지나가리라. 상처 아니라 이틀을 흐르는 참아해. 하니 그때부터는 모든 학교 놀고 어여쁜 날 흐드러지게 미련한 거지. 슬픈 밤 그중 속에 그리워진 그림자. 좁은 창살 사이로 뜨거운 몸짓이 멀어지고 있는 물어서지 말지요. 잡힌 타임으로 열릴 때 라타타 트라타타 가시 덤불 속에 묶인 채 울성벽이 활활 타오르리라. 절망의 씨앗도 세워라 타타 트라타타 추악한 영혼들도 세워라 타타 타타타 되돌리리라고. 잠이 든 것들은 완전히 걷어버렸고 흐드러진 꽃빛 내 자신을 삼켜버렸네. 원해랄 빛이 차오를 때까지 우리 원한 대로 이루어져라. 네가 날개를 달리라 거세게 몰아치리라. 과연 잡으라 결국은 정규주거리라. 지켜내리라 더 그리워하리라. 저기 집에서 말내 운명을 잊지 말지요. 잡힌 타임으로 열릴 때 라타타 트라타타 가시 덤불 속에 묶인 채 울성벽이 활활 타오르리라. 절망의 씨앗도 세워라 타타 트라타타 추악한 영혼들도 세워라 타타 타타타 되돌리리라고. 캐피탈의 문이 열릴 때 타타타타타 가시 덤불 속에 묶인 채 성벽이 활활 타오르리라. 내 씨앗도 세워라 타타타타타 추악한 영혼들도 세워라 타타타타타 되돌리리라고. 나도
와줘서 너무 고맙고 네 우리가 표현을 잘하고 있는 것 같아요. 다분한 마음으로 늘 매 무대마다 하고 있으니까 우리 핑매도 더 우리 자랑스러워해주고 더 예뻐해주고 사랑해줬으면 좋겠고 이번 주 한 주도 정말 고생 많았어요. 내일부터 이제 또 다른 일주일 시작하는데 인사드리겠습니다. 코스기 킹덤 감사합니다.
고마워요.
월요일 화이팅!
거짓말하지 마. 잘
못했어.
Hey guys! Okay, so it is about to hit midnight and I'm home. I just wanted to like talk about stuff before I forget things. It was so good. It was so good. But basically, I went to Burger King before because there's literally, the Burger King was actually like right next to the building where the event was. So I went into Burger King, chilled in Burger King. There were 2 other groups of girls in Burger King who were there for the Fansign. And I knew that because they all had Kingdom albums with them. I think I worked out there was like 9 of us in total in Burger King who were there for the Fansign. But that worked out really nicely because obviously they stayed in Burger King until it was time for the event. And so I kind of low-key followed one of the groups of girls to the event venue because I didn't know exactly where it was or how to get there. So I was like, I'm just gonna like subtly leave at the same time as this group of girls who are clearly going to the Fansign because they have fancy cameras and Kingdom albums. So I just kind of like left at the same time as them and followed them to the building and down to the floor where the event was. We go in, they take our temperature, we do hand sanitizer, I give them my passport, they check it. I had to put my hand in and do a raffle for like which number I was, and I ended up getting number 12, which I was pretty happy about. So that's relatively like close to the front within the first half. I was hoping to get like within the first half, so that was really cool. And then you get a wristband with the number that you draw on, and then they give you an album. And I was really happy because the album that I got was the yellow version, which meant I knew exactly what pages I wanted to go on it. And it was a sealed album, like it was completely sealed. So they give you the album and then you go and find like somewhere to perch. And I like unsealed the album, took out the photo card, and they had tabs and post-it notes there that you could use, but I just used my own that I had. Then I went into the venue, found where I needed to sit. They had like markers at like each space, like where you needed to sit for your number. So I went in, found number 12. I was like the 3rd row back. I like got settled in my seat, got my tripod out, got everything set up and ready. There's no like announcement or anything of it like starting like for concerts. So like I'm just minding my own business, got my tripod set up, the tables and chairs are out on the stage ready, everyone's just getting ready. I go on my phone just to double check a few things, and next thing I know I look up and Kingdom are on the stage and I'm like, whoa, okay. Like they came on so quietly. They come on, they do their intro and they sit down, and then it's basically like straight into the Fansign. They don't like talk to the audience or anything. So I just kind of chilled for a bit and watched them and was like, whoa, it's actually Kingdom in person. That's really cool. I had a little interaction with Mujin at the start. I like waved to him and he waved back. It was really cute. And then eventually waited for my turn to go up. You go up, you show them your album and your gifts, and they give you a post-it note to write your name on. They checked my album and I'm really sad because it turns out you weren't allowed to have photo cards doodled, which means I bought all of those 6 albums to get photo cards for absolutely no reason. Yeah, I then gave them my gifts, and like I had to give it to the staff member, and they asked like who each thing was for, and I told them, and they wrote it on like a post-it note and stuck it to each thing. She was gonna explain to me that like I had to do something with the gifts, but she didn't know how to say it in English, so then she was like, I'll do it, and I was like, okay, thank you. So she then dealt with my gifts from, yeah, I was just kind of stood outside waiting to go up. And then when I was like the next person, Ivan was the very first person in the Fansign, and the way they do it because of COVID, they have like social distancing, as in like you've got all 7 members sat next to each other, but you only have someone like every other member. But because of that, it meant that when I was waiting like when I was the next person to go, Ivan wasn't actually doing anything. He didn't have anyone there, and it was really cute. Like at one point, like he kind of looked over and he like waved at me, and I waved back, and then he got my album. Like you give the security your album, they give it to the members, and he got my album before it was my turn to sit down, and like he was like looking at it and he like had to look at my question and was there like, looks good, and I'm there like, oh, thank you, okay. And yeah, then it was my turn and Ivan was first. Yeah, I went up to him, spoke to him. Can I remember everything? No. Like, can I remember what I said exactly with every member? No. Like it was a blur. It was a blur. It really was. It's the same effect as concerts where like you go and you just forget everything as soon as you leave. Like it had that same effect. But I spoke with Ivan and I mentioned Simple K-pop. He didn't remember, and then he asked me if I had dinner, and then I said, yeah, Burger King, and we fully had a conversation about Burger King. He was like, oh, I like Burger King, the burger is really big, and I'm like, yeah, I really like Burger King, it was really good. So I fully spoke about Burger King with Ivan, because why not? So Ivan was first, and then the second member was Louis, and then it was Louis. I did give them the tiara to give to him, but obviously it wasn't given to him by me, and they actually gave the gifts out like before I got to members. So when they get gifts, they don't actually know who it's from, but like he had the tiara on when I got to him, but it kept falling off, and he just kind of put it to the side and never looked at it again. So it didn't really work, and because of that I didn't bother mentioning it, so the tiara didn't really work out. But hey, Louis definitely did not remember Simba K-pop, but he was really lovely, had a nice chat, was really good. And then after Louis was Mujin, and Mujin is so talkative. He can speak English, and he was really lovely and talkative, and he kept asking me like really random questions. And yeah, I mentioned Simba K-pop, and then he was like, oh yeah, I totally remember, like I remember. And I'm just sat there like, you definitely do not remember. Like I'm pretty certain he had no clue what I was talking about, but he acted like he did. It was really sweet. But yeah, he was really chatty. When I got to him, he already had the bear, and he was like holding it, and I said, oh, the bear's from me, and he got really excited, and he's like, oh, the bear is from you, thank you. Like he was really happy that I got him the bear. And yeah, Mujin was really lovely. And then after Mujin was Chiyu, and again, Chiyu was really lovely. So yeah, I spoke to Chiyu, and like we were discussing the like question, because he asked me like where I'm from, and I said the United Kingdom. So then he circled the United Kingdom. When I was with Mujin, when I was like going over like switching seats to be with Chiwoo. Chiwoo was there was like, oh, I'm great at English. Like, he said that as I like got to him, which was really funny. He was really sweet. I spoke to him again. I can't remember the specific details. I can't, like, it was a blur. And after Chiwoo was Arthur. It was so funny because obviously, like, because there's only someone with every other member at a time, it means the members in between aren't doing anything, which means they can listen to the conversations that the other members are having with fans. I move on to Arthur, and I'm talking to Arthur, and he's looking at my question, and he chooses Canada. And Chiwoo, who was watching, is like, oh no, United Kingdom, she's from the United Kingdom, you can't put Canada. Like, he was basically scolding Arthur for saying Canada, and then Arthur realized, oh, you're from the United Kingdom, oh no, and he crossed it out and he put United Kingdom instead, and I was laughing. It was so funny. It was so funny because like Chiu got involved and was like fully like, oh, he didn't put United Kingdom, like he was like, oh, it was so funny. It was so funny. Arthur then like was signing my name, and he like he put A and he was like, oh, Amber, and I was like, no, it's Chloe Amber, and he was like, he like kind of stopped, and then he was like, and he kind of like freaked out because he didn't know what to do because he'd started writing Amber, and then he ended up like writing Chloe underneath and then putting like an arrow. It was so funny. It was so funny. And I think it was Arthur. He had pretty good English, and he asked me like while we were talking like how long I've been in Korea for. Was it Arthur who asked me? It was either Chiyu or Arthur. I can't remember which one it was, but one of those two asked me like how long I've been in Korea and what my favorite thing about Korea is. I'm pretty certain it was Arthur. I remember blue hair with that. Like, I think it was Arthur. But I think it was Arthur asked me, like, how long I've been in Korea and what my favorite part is and, like, questions about that, which was really sweet. And yeah, so, like, Arthur was really lovely. And then we moved on to Dan. And firstly, he said that my name is really pretty. You know, he did my question and asked me where I'm from. And I said, like, United Kingdom. And then I mentioned Simply K-pop. And I started explaining to him. And he remembered. Dan actually legitimately fully remembered. Like, you could see the exact moment it hit him. Because, like, I was explaining Simply K-pop. And then he was like, Chloe, you're the Chloe from the interview. Simply K-pop, United Kingdom. And then he was even like, because I said it's like meeting people like you, like I said that to you in the interview, meeting people like you, and like he was freaking out, like, oh my god, you're that Chloe. And then he was like, you did that interview in United Kingdom and now you're in Korea. Like, he was fully freaking out, and I'm there like, yes, that was me. Like, I've already watched the footage from that one specific, from that part of the when I met them, and like you can even hear us talking. Like, we both got so excited that we were talking loud enough that my phone picked it up from the third row. But like, he fully remembered me. He remembered what he said to me during that interview as well. Like, he fully remembered it. Like, he fully remembered me and the interview. And then he was like, oh, I got goosebumps. Like, you're in Korea now. Like, it was, oh, honestly, that one interaction made the whole thing worth it. Like, him remembering me and having that moment of realization and freaking out over it was, oh, it was so good. And yeah, like, he freaked out. And then it was funny because he got so excited he forgot he needed to sign my thing, and then the time was up and he was like, wait, and he even like told the staff member, like, started speaking to her in Korean and was like telling her like that I was like, you know, that I was in this interview as he was, and the staff member was just like, okay. And then like he quickly signed it and then moved on, and it was, and then like, but when he was like saying goodbye to me, he put his hand up on the glass for me to then put my hand up on the glass so that we were like, you know, touching hands through the glass panel. He did that and it was really sweet. And then yeah, I moved on, and then Jahan was last, and Jahan was so sweet because like he's so concentrated on signing albums. Like, he did it with everyone, where the first thing he would do, he wouldn't talk to you, he'd be like focused on writing your name properly. Like, it was so sweet. So he did that, and I was just kind of there sat waiting for him to finish it. And then yeah, I tried talking to him about Simply K-pop. Yeah, he was super sweet and lovely, and they all like, oh, they were also lovely. And so yeah, and then it finished, and that was the end of the fan sign. And then I went and sat back down, and then there was still quite a while for the fan sign, and they all just did the fan sign and had an I interacted with Dan at one point. Like, I waved to him and he waved back, and then he did like a heart and I did a heart, and then he copied my heart, and then I did like a shy little clap and he copied my shy little clap. And then like throughout the whole of the rest of the fan sign, Dan and Mujin had the plushies that I gave them. Oh yeah, because that's another thing, I told Dan that the plushie was from me, but they both had those plushies, and I have so many videos and photos now of them with those plushies because they kept like holding them and posing with them. Mujin fully put that arm in his, was it that arm in his mouth? I'm trying to think. It was the front of the, oh, maybe it was this arm. It was this arm. This arm right here has been in Mujin's mouth. I don't want to touch it. He fully just ate it, because why not? When it finished, like as the members finished, they kind of stood up and started interacting with the audience at the front, and then they performed. Oh my god, the performances. So they did, the last song they did was Ascension. Obviously, it's their title track for this comeback, so we knew they were going to do that. And they just did it like as a dance. They didn't like sing it. They just danced it, but oh my god, their dancing is so good. Like, seeing it in person that close, because it was a really small venue, like it was so close, like oh my god, it was so good. Their dancing was so good. But then the other song they performed, so I thought it would be another title track, because that's what I know they did at the first fan sign. They performed Karma, but they didn't. They performed a B-side. And not just that, they performed Promise, which is like this ballad, like this vocal focused ballad from the new album, and it's the prettiest song. I love it so much. It's such a beautiful song, and they sung it live at the fan sign today. Oh my god, the vocals. I was so happy when they did it. I was so happy. It was so good. So they did those 2 songs, and then they said goodbye and left, and that was it. And then they left my bears on the stage for me to go get, and yeah, and that was the end. Let me show you my album quickly. and how they've signed it. So firstly we have Dan. He signed just to Chloe signature, and then he just circled United Kingdom. And then we've got Louis. I think he put the places he's been to, or places, because I don't know, like, because he put all of them, and then he put Paris, and I think that says Germany. So I'm not sure if it's either places he's been to or places he wants to go to. He just like put a whole bunch. And then Mujin, he wrote to Chloe. Oh, he signed it over on this page. And yeah, he underlined. And most of them, like, when they realize I'm from the United Kingdom, they then like put United Kingdom. And then we have Jahan. And then he put Germany, which is cool. That's what Jahan did. And then next we have Arthur. This is my favorite. So the question, he put Canada, crossed it out, crossed, and then put a cross on Canada, ticked United Kingdom, and put a heart on it, because that was when Chiwi was like, you didn't put United Kingdom, she's from the United Kingdom. Like, it was so funny. And then my name. He wrote the A, like he started writing Amber so confidently, and then he realized, oh no, wait. So he had a little panic and was like, how am I gonna do this? And then he wrote the Chloe like underneath, and then drew a little arrow. It was so funny. And then she wrote to Chloe, and he circled United Kingdom like after he found out. Hello and welcome to the actual outro of this video. There was a very sudden cut off of my footage. I've literally just edited it. I don't know why it cut off like that. I don't know if I had other footage that I lost, but I don't have any more footage, so I'm filming an outro now. So currently filming this outro in January 2023. It's been quite a while since the fan sign, but it's fine. At least I'm actually finally editing it. So I'm gonna finish showing you my album. I didn't get to do the last member, which was Ivan. He signed my name to Amber. He missed off the Chloe, which, you know what, is totally fine, because people do this all the time. Like back home, in school, like anywhere I go, so often people will call me Amber. I don't like being called Amber, but it happens so much, and I'm like, okay, whatever, like I'm used to it. And honestly, it's quite funny that he signed to Amber. He put a little heart, which is cute, and he put a little, his signature has a little face in. It's so cute. And yeah, he selected United Kingdom like everyone else. The one thing that also happened that I didn't mention is after we finished talking to all of the members, before you sat down, you had to go to a staff member who was giving out signed Polaroids. And so we got signed Polaroids, and I am going to blur it, but I got a signed Polaroid of Ivan. It's a really cute picture. You won't have seen it because I'm blurring it, since it's a Polaroid, it's a one-of-a-kind photo, so I'm the only one who has seen this photo, and I plan to keep it that way. But to sum it up, he's basically low-key doing Hoshi's harangue pose, which as a Hoshi bias I appreciate, but it's also signed of the same signature as in the album with the little face. That's actually really cute. So yeah, I have this signed Polaroid to keep from the day as well, which is really cute. And since the fan sign, I have also given the bear that Mujin ate to my sister. I managed to print off some of the photos I got of him with it, and I wrapped up those photos with the bear, and I gave it to her when my family came to visit me in Korea, and she was very excited to have it. And now we have matching bears that Kingdom have had. My Dan one is up on my shelves over here somewhere, and my sister has the Mujin one back home, which was really sweet. And yeah, overall this fan sign was an amazing experience, like just getting to experience an in-person fan sign, which is something you really only exclusively get to do in Korea. And if you'd told me a couple years ago that I would get to do one, I wouldn't have believed you. It seemed like something that I'd never get to do. So the fact that I've just done one is so insane, and they were all so lovely, and it was an amazing experience. And unfortunately I haven't been able to do another one just because fan signs are so expensive to get into. Kingdom are actually considered a fairly easy group to get into, as you don't need too many albums, but you still need like probably minimum 10 albums to get in, and like it does add up. So unfortunately I haven't been able to go to another one of their fan signs. However, I have seen Kingdom perform again. I went to the Dream concert not that long after the fan sign where they performed, and I also got to see Jahan in person at a cafe because I went to one of his birthday cafes and he happened to show up while I was there, which was crazy cool. And that was also when my family were in Korea, so my sister was with me, which was even more exciting. And I did vlog it, and that vlog will be going up on my channel along with the Dream concert vlog, but not yet. I'm very behind schedule. Bear with me, but they will be up on my channel eventually, so there will be more Kingdom stuff. But also, since those things have happened, Chiwoo actually left Kingdom. Like he left the group and they replaced him with someone else. I don't really know what happened there. I was quite sad when I found out that Chiwoo left, but it makes me even more glad that I did this fan sign, because it means I actually got to see them perform with Chiwoo, and I got to meet Chiwoo, and I have his signature, which means even more to me now since he isn't in the group anymore. Yeah, it was a shock when he left. I don't really know what went on. I am going to continue supporting Kingdom. I love them a lot, and hopefully I get to see them again at some point. Yeah, I'm so glad I got to do this fan sign. Thank you so much, Kingdom, for being awesome. And yeah, that is, I think, everything I wanted to say about this fan sign. Okay, I'm gonna end the video here. I hope you guys enjoyed. The next video that's going up, what is after this? Stray Kids! Okay, the next videos after this are my vlogs of the Stray Kids Maniac Tour concerts in Seoul, the first concerts I went to in Korea. Those will be the next vlogs that go up. It was so exciting, so exciting. I can't wait to edit those videos and to upload them for you guys. So that will be the next scheduled videos on my channel, unless any reactions come beforehand. Actually, you know what? Key's having a comeback next month, and I probably won't get the Stray Kid vlogs edited before that. So maybe the next video will be a reaction to Keys come back. We'll see what happens. But yeah, okay. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and I will see you all in the next one. Goodbye.